in my head. I don't know how to cope with this. I'm keeping secrets in my head. Or any space you can find. Glad to see that I could help. Make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Butch On Sports. Simply Butch is here, and as always, thanks for tuning in. This has been one heck of a weekend. And to many, that's an understatement of what's been going on these past 6 hours. Maybe longer for some. But we'll give you the sports news as best as we can, because today is Sunday. And I promise I do it on. So let's get some sports news that you can't get enough of here. The big news today, and it hurts a lot of us to see someone go so young. But I'm always told you never know when your time is coming. So you live life to the fullest. And I believe Kobe Bryant did do that in his livelihood and many opportunities he's had in his life. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California, early this in the morning, and this is around in the area around about 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Yahoo Sports reported this particular. TMZ was the first to report the news, and they politely put it on their airways, and all who are connected with TMZ got to know the news. That came on around about in the area around about, I say, in the area about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Or a little bit after 2 o'clock, I should say. About 2:30, 2:15. And my son called me. The TMZ reported that Kobe Bryant had passed. So now I'm going through the website. I'm going through certain modes, seeing anyone had any breaking news, and it went on for about a half an hour. In the area of 3:03 this afternoon, that's when the word started getting out. First word I got from it was the BBC, which has a regular captured news event on their particular channel there. And talking about someone in shock, it was somewhat very dramatic indeed there. I can't count how many times I've been able to be in the scrum when Kobe Bryant had to be interviewed at the Palace or maybe at an All-Star game. In both cases, at the All-Star game, I didn't have to be in the scrum. He came in the room, the interview room, and addressed us all, the active media. But I was able to talk to him twice in my career as a sportscaster, reporter. The most recent was when he played his final game here in Detroit. in this case wasn't Detroit, but it's the Palace of Auburn Hills. In his 20-year career, last game he played in this town. Very gracious, and I was able to get about 3.5 minutes of conversation with him, which we was kind of jovial indeed, and I'll keep that to ourselves, but it was a pleasure and a privilege, and he wasn't stuck up, didn't ignore me. He asked a question, he turned around and came and asked it. And just doing a pregame exhibition where the players are on the floor, warming up, getting ready for the game. And it was a pleasure to have that conversation, because those are the memories I have. Like, besides the scrums, again, many conversations with him coming into Detroit or during a playoff where the Lakers partake in visiting the Detroit Pistons. Bryant played his entire career, 20 years with the Los Angeles Lakers. He won 5 NBA championships. He was named to the finals MVP twice and the league MVP in 2008. He was only 41 years old when he passed away this afternoon. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department responded to a helicopter that crashed into the hillside and caught fire. NBC Los Angeles reported that, and the crash was called around about 9:47 a.m. local time. Per the report, and the flames that were spread quarterly, about a quarter acre, were all put out around about 10:30. And that's when rumors started to go as TMZ. Accordingly to all has been transpired today, well, it was the first on the scene to get pictures and get some identification on who was on that particular vehicle, which it was a helicopter. And went out there, got it confirmed, and reported it. So, right around the TMZ. Fire department reported there were no survivors on there. We ended up finding out that Kobe Bryant's daughter, Gianna, was on board. The reason they were on board on that particular helicopter is that they were going to a tournament that Gianna was entered in the greater Los Angeles area. I say every day, every time I do a broadcast, get out there and support those kids. There's one who did, all the way to the end. Vanessa is a survivor because they were not on the vehicle that took the lives of 7 other people. So we found out there was more than 5 on the helicopter. Vanessa has 3 daughters to raise now still, Natalia, Bianca, and Capri, who was born on June in 2019. Almost a year old, in a little bit more than 4 months ago, 4 or 5. A blow indeed for everyone who watched it. And, the funny thing is that last night I ended up watching the game when LeBron James was taking part and broke the record. And all you can hear, on the interview, how much he warranted Kobe Bryant and how much he respected him, just take him under his wing and show him around, and so he can keep on the straight and narrow. Another, maybe one incident that Kobe Bryant faced when he was young, which basically got thrown out of court settlement indeed. He's been married since 2001. A tribute to maybe people who have problems that find ways to work it out. They're much worse things than, I guess, maybe people say they are, and try to keep things together. And it was a testament of that. He went out there and supported his child and children, as he supported many. Kobe Bryant was not only a 5-time champion on the team, on the Lakers, he also was on the Olympics for two gold medals, I should say, and also have an Academy Award for a short film for children. Still writing books, still taking care of his children, still finding ways to reach this highest point and live life to its fullest. I'm quite sure we'll hear for several days about this. But let's keep the family in mind and try to do good things in life without getting in trouble, but do live life to the fullest. The Super Bowl, well, we start talking, and like I said, this day is taking a damper off a lot of little things there, because normally this time around about 7:40, the Kansas City Chiefs arrived, some photo opportunities, but I didn't even look at that. And I'm quite sure all the conversation when they landed was on Kobe Bryant, per se. San Francisco, just about 10 minutes ago, just got off the plane, and they had photo opportunities. I'm going to check them out after this particular broadcast and on the NFL Network or something there and find out what's going on. But on Monday night, the Super Bowl opening night premieres, and this was kind of better than when I went, where it was all in the daytime, and you got to get up and rip and run, and then wait for each team to come on about. So the one thing you liked about it was plenty of space where you could see all the players at one time. Most of these now are held in baseball facilities there that you can see, again, all the players at one time. This is going to be at Marlins Park from 7 to 10 o'clock. Chiefs going to be out there from 9 to 10. The Frisco's going to be out there tomorrow night if you're interested in sharing in the festivities there of the Super Bowl upcoming here. By the way, the Pro Bowl was played today. I don't want to kind of mess that around either. AFC won 38-34 over the NFC. 88 players are picked for this particular. However, you got to count the 31 replacement players plus that 88 that were all functional. So a total of 119 players were in the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, I should say. Via played or couldn't play because of that were picked for this particular game. 119. And of course, if you didn't see the Senior Bowl the day before, yesterday, North beat the South 34-17. Patterson of Michigan got through a touchdown, a nice one, long one too, 75 yards. But all the words and all the noise was all about Justin Herbert, who capped off a great showing in the game itself. And mainly all this stuff was in the first quarter, of course. Complete 9 of 13 balls for 83 yards and a touchdown pass. Like nothing else happened. The North won. Come on. I know I got the ball rolling, but you know what I'm saying. But he's from Oregon, so I gotta say, yay! Let's move on. According to Cameron Wolf of ESPN, Antonio Brown was granted bail after a lengthy back and forth hearing. His bond will be 10,000 smackaroonies. Should I say $100,000. And he'll be required to get a GPS monitoring system on there. He'll be released. And he got to release his passports, his guns. He can't go through, he got to go through all kind of drugs and alcohol testing and mental health evaluation. That's the important one on this particular setup for Antonio Brown. And some of the things that has happened in the past 9 months has been ridiculous here, to say the least, for someone who's so talented. Special player from Central Michigan University in state here. Went out there and did great things for the Pittsburgh Steelers, went to Oakland, and from that point, everything went downhill for the guy. And there was some thoughts that certain things were just not right mentally. So I don't know. I wish him well. Get well quick. Hopefully the whatever's going on will pass and he can move on with his livelihood and be better than ever before. And get better. Yes. New Orleans Saints are fighting a public release of hundreds of emails, the allegations showing the team executive assisting the Roman Catholic Archdiocese in containing fallout from the church growing sexual abuse crisis. That's according to the Associated Press, reported on Friday. The Catholic Church is still dealing with long-standing crises of sexual abuse committed by priests. The email came out in the discovery period of a lawsuit filed more than 20 men against the church for employing a deacon and lay minister even after claims of sexual abuse. Oh boy. Saints owner Gabe Benson, who is a Catholic and owns the New Orleans Pelicans as well as the New Orleans Saints, have a close friendship with the Archdiocese Gregory Armand, who was at her side during her husband's funeral time in 2018 there. The church is fighting the release of those emails per AP, or Associated Press. That gives you something to think about. A whole heck of a lot. The NHL All-Star Game was yesterday, Saturday, and I tell you, I was not interested in one bit of it. I tell you there. The skills thing here was blase. I'm just one amused. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you, Tyler Bertuzzi of Detroit Red Wings was part of it, and he did look pretty good in some of the things that he was doing in the skills performance in St. Louis there. Yeah. However, the game did go on, and the Pacific won. I do believe over the Atlantic. Can I say that? Yep. Over the Atlantic. Well, what can you say? Pacific was too much for him. I'm talking about over the Atlantic in the hockey game. By the way, Detroit Red Wings, where they had this long overdue timeout, Detroit Red Wings assigned right winger Giovanni Smith, Philippe Zandino, defenseman Jens Kowalski, and goaltender Calvin Pickett to the American Hockey League Grand Rapids Griffin. In addition, the Red Wings recalled goaltender Kadis Fukas from to Toledo Walleyes under emergency conditions there. Rather than those kids sit home and take a week off, he sent them back to, yes, good old Grand Rapids to get some seasoning in. I'm quite sure every last one of those young men will be called back. Hopefully a little wiser and a little bit more hungrier for the Red Wings, that is. This has been a painful season when it comes down to watching losing teams in Motown. Okay, on March the 7th, on Saturday, you better believe this here, the WWE presents NXT Live at the Royal Oak Music Theater in Royal Oak, Michigan. That's about 6 p.m. for all ages, of course, there. And Should be a good old-fashioned time. NXT is very popular. It's not so much looked at the minor league of wrestling, should say, but it is for the parent WWE big rosters, which are their home runs of SmackDown and also Raw. So, get to see the talent of the future. March the 7th, tickets on sale as of starting on Monday, okay, for this event, which will probably be sold out, of course. Also, they'll be coming to the Little Caesars Arena for SmackDown again before the WrestleMania occur. Talking about the WWE. The Titans had a long weekend full of fun and frolics there. The University of Detroit Mercy's basketball team responded, and they beat up on IUPUI on Thursday at Callahan Hall. As that night, 24 jersey of the great Earl Detroit Kilden was retired on that night. It was a thing to see. Also, sophomore Alonzo Legrand hit a masterful layup with 0.3 of a second left in the second half to get the University of Detroit Mercy basketball team another victory over UIC, or the University of Illinois Chicago. Yep, beating the Flames 70-69 on Saturday afternoon. Another former Titan getting his due as basketball player Eli Holman and also Willie Green had their jerseys retired. This weekend, 3 jerseys got retired. And UD. I can't get that Mercy part out there. You know, it's always been UD for me. So I guess I'll stay true. You know what I mean when I say UD Mercy. Michigan State, by the way, beat Minnesota today. Final score of 70-52. Michigan State looking very grand and also play a surprise because they didn't get to know about the Kobe Bryant incident till after the game was over there. And some of the looks on the player's face was astounding. Indeed. I saw it on one of the channels after the game. It was coaches were telling players, and it was something else to behold. The grassroots program and the NFL, I wanted to kind of let this be known there. They gave up a grant of $250,000 for a new synthetic turf at the Flint Sports Complex. That's a part of a $3 million of grants going to be held up to fix the athletic fields nationwide, but Flint, they got theirs, and that money will greatly be appreciated with some synthetic turf, so some things can be done in that locale. Flint been hit hard. Can't do a whole heck of a lot, maybe cut the grass and whatever it may be, but to get those grand events, they have a place that they can kind of count on with the synthetic turf going down there. A lot of people like the synthetic turf. I don't like it personally, but, you know, that's the way it goes. Hopefully they get some more money to fix other things that are needed by the people who are using those facilities, especially the young kids there. The Lions also was part of that, giving away that particular grant to those to the city of Flint empowerment village of that $3 million field refurbishment award allowance this year, which again they got $250,000 of it. A lot of money. 99 players are right now, at this moment, are eligible for the NFL draft that's going to be taking place not far away. 16 additional players six of those 99 already have their degrees. Now the draft is going to be in April the 23rd through the 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's going to be a rambunctious place to hold the draft, but it's going to be cool. But, congratulations to those 16 players who still got their education and their degree. Those fine 16 players, I'm going to name them. Enzo Benjamin, Awali Patico, Lloyd Cushenberry, Quanti Davis, Aloha Gilman, Matt Hennessy, Donnie Holmes, Keith Ismail, Jalen Johnson, Tony Jones, Terrell Lewis, Jordan Love, Elon Loomis, Houston Miller, Kenneth Murray, and last but not least, Isaiah Simmons. They all represent major colleges there, Division I schools. They have already associated their degree. Congratulations to all of them in particular. They could have did other things, but they went in there and got their degree before they declined for the NFL draft. They still had eligibility to continue to play football after those provisions of getting their degree, which they got early. But they decided to go on the NFL draft. The rest of them don't have degrees, boys and girls. Just want to say it. This has been a very sad day for many of us. I'm quite sure there's going to be a lot more conversation being held for several days upcoming. There's specials all going to be all on major television tonight about the life of Kobe Bryant. The Grammys that are going on, we're going about 8 o'clock live. We're doing this around by the area. It's about between the 7th and the 8 o'clocks. I'm quite sure they're going to have a tribute. Already today, the NFL All-Star game that was supposed to be full of hoopla, they got the news, and many of the people who are working that particular game were emotional. Some I know personally. And that's as much as I'm going to say. Again, this really wakes you up, let you know. Is it worth it? Sure it is. To do your very, very best and treat everybody right. In the meanwhile, I want to kind of also give my deepest and saddest sympathy to the family of Jay Allen. A lot of you don't know Jay Allen, but I do. When you go to the Detroit Tigers game, Jay Allen is the public address announcer for the Detroit Tigers. Jay was just a simple guy who came on out. He spoke to everybody. He was a positive type of person. He replaced someone who'd been there about 20 years and was very popular. So Jay to walk in there and take over a job that really and truly last year was all new to him. He did a mindful and did a whole lot of things to make a lot of friends very quickly there. Jay was fighting cancer. I mean, some don't know that. But his passion for the Tigers and sports across the state was very big to him. Always a fan of the home team. Butch On Sports are extending their condolences to Jay's family and the friends at this trying time. And from that point, yes, we're done with Butch On Sports for this evening here. Just want to remind you, boys and girls, Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. You can check Butch On Sports on Facebook, always on Facebook. Just type in Butch On Sports and you'll find it. Hey, also you can, excuse me, you can also go to Palomatic, type in SIMPLYBUTCHTOO. GameSportsShow.podomatic.com. Also, the GameSportsShow.com. GameSportsShow.podbean.com is also places you can find that. Always there. Also, the game I'll be on tomorrow night there. Hey, hopefully everything goes right. But that's with Scott Nason, E.J. Russell, Dave McKay. I will be taking long and hard and praying for everyone to have a good night here and a good week. And that's as much as I can say tonight here. This has been a very trying day, and I'm quite sure you all can agree. Have a good start of the week here, and we'll check you out on Wednesday.